What color should I go with? I think pink.
It's more realistic.
I like a nice pink nipple. That's too... I like that. That's a good size. Natural.
I don't think that's full bimbofication, though.
I'm going with what I like.
Okay.
This is my kink. I don't kink shame. I'm gonna try it myself and see what it's all about. Here we go. You ready for this?
Okay.
Okay.
I guess.
Can you see the nipples?
I can, actually.
All right. What do you think of that? What do you think?
Wow. May I?
Am I beautiful?
Well, you're beautiful.
Is this something we should incorporate?
It's getting worse every day.
I feel dirty, guys. That was probably the worst opener we've ever done. But Crystal woke me up this morning laughing in bed, and I rolled over and I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? She's like, you're not going to believe this. Kristi Noem's husband likes huge fake tits, and there's photos. But I was just like, what? 2 hours later, I was in a Dollarama waiting in line to pay for my balloons, knowing full well I was going to go home and do a bit and wear them as tits. And then I thought to myself, am I sick? What's wrong with me? I'm 45 and I'm buying balloons to stick under my shirt and wear as tits right now.
Blame Kristi Noem.
And I remember, when I was 8 years old, 8, 9, 10, around that age, you'd be at a birthday party with your friends, and as a joke, you'd stick balloons under your shirt and be like, look at me. And then after that, you'd go jerk each other off in the woods.
Please understand everything we say in this video. We are just mocking the Noems and the hypocrisy because of all of the evil and the very anti-trans, very hateful rhetoric and laws that Kristi Noem has passed.
For our viewers that don't understand sarcasm, there was no jerking off in the woods.
You probably get to say that.
No, I feel like it needs to be said nowadays. Every time I tell a joke like that, there's always people that are like, sick, you're disgusting. Yeah. So, never happened.
You said you're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm going to kill you, give me $200.
But the Daily Mail has come out with allegations that at least 3 different women sex workers that are in this bimbofication genre, that they have received up to $25,000 in payments from Bryon Noem, Kristi's husband, to take part and send messages in this very sexually explicit, gender-bending way.
I will say, though, if there was ever one kink that you were going to go all in on, balloons, very cheap. I have a bag of like 50 balloons here. Cost me $1.50.
But actually, when you look at these photos, I feel like that's not a normal balloon, is it? Or is it like some specialty huge, because it looks like the full top and it's skin colored. Is that why the one nipple's all crazy?
Yeah, well, dude, line your nipples up at least. What are you doing? That's why do you have one nipple way up here? And you're like, this is it. This is the one I'm gonna send. How hard is it to just take the picture and be like, oh, the nipples are off, and then fix the nipple and then retake the photo? He's like, no, I'll just do this.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I thought that was like a huge, I didn't think that was balloons.
No,
I thought he bought some special.
That's exactly what I thought too. I thought he went on some weird Chinese website and ordered a big set of fake silicone tits. And, then he had to hide it from his wife.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. That's like a trunk. How would you hide something that big? And Kristi's claiming she can't find it.
His kids are like, hey, Dad, there's a delivery. He's like, I got it.
Well, the world has been wondering, because it's not a secret that Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, they have had this long ongoing affair. And all these reports are that Kristi flaunted it. She didn't give a shit if people knew. But yet Bryon...
Well, they clearly had a deal.
An arrangement,
He's like, look, babe, I want to wear balloons as tits, okay? And I hope you don't mind. I might stretch out some of your expensive gym wear. As long as you let me do that, you can go off and you can sleep with whoever you want, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't buy for a second that she didn't know.
All I need are my balloons.
Yeah.
I like my balloons.
But then spending her money, I mean, I'm sure he does fine financially, but I would lose my goddamn mind if my husband was secretly spending tens of thousands of dollars talking to sex workers for this weird little fetish.
You know what I'd like to know is, did anyone in that family notice that he started buying a lot of balloons? That's a weird purchase. I bought these.
You're not a professional party planner.
I bought these today, and I was like, I can't remember the last time I bought balloons. And it looks to me like he's color coordinating. Is he buying like all white?
Are there flesh-colored
balloons? How did no one notice this?
Well, let's talk about what this bimbofication is, because the world is learning for the first time. It's this fetish for really gigantic boobs, hyper proportionality. I guess it's also known as the 3000 cc plus.
That's not my thing. The best boob is a hand, one hand. That's all you want.
Yeah. So he engages with women in this genre of sex work. And yet he also wants to be dressed like them. And he sends these pictures with like, let's go to the kissy lips. Like, look at those kissy lips.
What are you doing?
Oh, and I don't even want to bring up the bulge.
What bulge? Oh, okay. I was looking at the lower photo. But here's the problem. Here's my prediction. I think this guy, in his embarrassment, is going to try to spin this as though, like, I just love women, man. I just love big tits. I love big boobs, and I can't control myself. And I just had to do it. How long until you're killing females and wearing their skin? Everyone keeps going, don't kink shame, don't kink shame. But at the same time, it's like, he's a part of the MAGA.
Yeah, he's a Republican.
He's a part of the MAGA universe. And these people are all fucking weird.
We've built something really special here in our state. When I wake up in the morning to do my job, I do it based on our state's motto, which is under God, the people rule.
And I don't believe for a second that she didn't know that this is what her husband was into, because I feel like she is like a petite version of bimbofication. Like what she's done, pumping her face full of Botox and her fake little tits on her 90-pound frame. Was she doing it for Corey, or did this all start because she wanted to do it for Bryon?
When you were explaining this to me earlier, you described it as though these women were trying to pump their bodies so full of saline that they would look smooth and artificial like a Barbie doll. See, there's all these photos of Kristi Noem where, she'll be out in public, not under studio lighting. Under studio lighting, she almost looks good. I'm talking when she's out in the world, when she's like standing on a rooftop with Benny Johnson looking at people's lives being ruined. And then some reporter with a telephoto lens takes a close-up photo of her face. Yeah. And you can see the leathery, it's leather. Yeah. She has leathery, disgusting skin. Yeah. And I can't help but think her husband is so repulsed by her leathery skin that he sought out smooth skin. Yeah. And then he found it and he was so turned on by it that he just kept chasing that fetish all the way to its extreme. And here we are. Yeah. He discovered bimbofication. Bimbofication. Yeah. That's where he ended up. And my question is, once bimbofication isn't enough anymore, what's next?
Where do you go?
He's wearing female human skin. Yeah.
Who do you fuck with?
At least one of these women that ratted him out to the Daily Mail or blew the whistle on him, they were an immigrant. And so they saw the hypocrisy and they wanted to get the word out.
Good for you, immigrants.
Yes. Good job.
Good for you.
Here's my question.
I'm big on immigrants, by the way.
Here's my question. as a Department of Homeland Security, do you think that Donald Trump actually let her go because this was being leaked? Because when reporters are ready to, like, they have their evidence and they are ready to take something public, like, they start reaching out, trying to get quotes and responses from people. There's probably been whispers about this for some time now. And I wonder if that's actually why Trump canned her.
100%. I believe that. They're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Her husband wears balloons for tits and he wears Kristi's tights.
Yeah, Trump is not.
We got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of this now. Create distance.
Yeah.
But it's not going to work because the problem is that by this point there's so many examples of mega freaks. You got
Abusers.
RFK with his felching.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
These people are deranged, sick, disgusting psychopaths, and they should all be eliminated. Honestly. Bill Burr style. Send them all on a free cruise and then bomb it.
What does this also say? That as the husband of the former Department of Homeland Security, how susceptible was he of blackmail? Like, for all we know, he's clearly, if he has 3 women that are willing to go on the record and share photos and conversations, like, there's probably hundreds more. It would have been so easy for some bad actors to catfish him and then use that as an opportunity to get national security information.
I mean, what's new? What was it, like 5 days ago? It was Kash Patel having his phone hacked.
Yeah.
And he's like sitting there deep throating a cigar or whatever the photos were. And now we have
alone.
Huh?
He was all lonely. Everyone was laughing at like how lonely all of his pictures were, just him by himself with no friends.
Sniffing a cigar. Like he was in like euphoria.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not into cigars, but I can't imagine any cigar in the world smells so good that you're alone by yourself, looking like you're blowing your load in your pants.
Because he's a gooner.
Anyways,
we're getting off topic.
Yeah, it's funny. When I left the house earlier today to go buy these balloons, there was a pamphlet on our mailbox, and I grabbed it and I looked at it, and it was "Have you found Jesus?" pamphlet. They come around every couple months, and I was thinking to myself, no, I haven't, and I don't need to.
Yeah, thank you.
But you know who needs to? Kristi Noem's husband. I think it's people like that who really need to find Jesus. I mean, when you're blowing up a balloon, 2 balloons, and wearing them as tits, and then sending those photos off to people, there needs to be a little voice in the back of your head that says, what have I become? Like, who am I? Have I maybe lost my way? Maybe I should reach out, find a community, make some friends, reintegrate.
Yeah.
You've had too much time alone, with your sick thoughts and your weird fetish. And, your wife's off sleeping with dudes left and right all over the world, and you're just in your dark little tiny world. You got to branch out. That's what church is for.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, though. These evangelical Christians, everything is fine because they're putting on the perception that they still have this happy marriage and everything is good, and they just have to ask for God's forgiveness. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a religious guy myself, and I'm not huge on church, but I do believe there's some people that benefit from that stuff. And I think maybe Kristi Noem's husband needs to find himself. Well, Kristi is asking for everyone's prayers during this dark time.
Well, let's all pray for him.
Because, this is such a dark time. Nothing compared to all these poor immigrants that got...
Yeah. Let me deliver a message from President Trump to the world. If you are considering entering America illegally, don't even think about it.
She's saying, oh my God, we're devastated. And this is coming from the woman who's literally responsible for devastating the lives of thousands and thousands of families. And now we're supposed to pray for her because her husband blows up balloons and wears them under his shirt. Really?
So thank you guys so much. Your support is just, we appreciate it like you have no idea. We get so excited every time I get a notification that there's a new member.
We were doing really good as a channel, and then the Iran war started, and then everything died off.
Yeah.
Because I think right now the whole world is thinking, are we going into like a nuclear? And everyone's glued to what's going on with that. So, you know, a dude with balloon boobs
Might
and
not get as many
you know,
views,
whatever. These things don't take off right now on YouTube, but the more you guys can sub, honestly, I know it sounds so pandering, but please.
Yep. Your likes, your comments. You don't have to become a paid member to support us. Just giving us those likes, those comments. We're so grateful. Thank you.
Subscribe. If you subscribe, I'll stop. Please. All it takes is a like, a sub, become a member. That really helps. Please. I'm not going to stop until you subscribe. I'm serious.
Oh.
Hey, it kind of looks like a little vagina.
Oh. Don't tell Bryon Noem that.
It sounds like it too. Just kidding. All right.
See you guys.